What is up, YouTube? NYKia31 here. This video is a little bit different from others I've done. What I'm doing in this video is I edited a recent league game that I played to show all of the plays where I was on pass defense, and the reason why I wanted to do that was to highlight something about 2K football that I really like. It's my favorite thing about the game, and that is the thing that 2K does very, very well is they pay homage to the great pass rusher. If you have a good pass rusher on your team, he's gonna raise havoc. He's gonna raise hell out there. And the reason why I wanted to break this down and to, show appreciation for that is to, show you guys just how well they do it and what a dominant pass rush can do to a player. What it does to the line of scrimmage, how it makes them play, how unsettled it makes the pocket, and just how it can really take over a game. Like in this season of this league that I'm in, the Gridiron Online League for PS3, I'm using the Indianapolis Colts. Now, how do the Colts play defense? The Colts aren't a team that play defense by, beating you up. They're not a physical, rough, hard-hitting team like the Pittsburgh Steelers or the Baltimore Ravens. The way the Colts want to play defense is basically by having a potent offense. They want Peyton and the boys to go out there and roll up, 28 to 35 points, get a lead, and use their team's speed to force you to have to go a long field, passing the ball, and unleashing Freeney and Mathis. That's how they play defense. That's how they have to play defense, given how they're built. Just to give you guys a rundown of the attributes I gave the Colts players on defense. I gave Freeney pass rush bonus, speed burner, quick feet. Not quick feet. I gave him. Start that again. I gave him pass rush bonus. I gave him speed burner. I gave him spin move, bull rush, and ball strip. I gave Mathis pass rush bonus and ball strip. Antoine Bethea has coverage. Gary Brackett has loose ball magnet. And I have my generic defensive tackles, my generic defensive linemen as run coverage in order to help protect my, one-star inside linebacker out there in running situations. And for some reason, generic defensive linemen do a much better job of bull rushing and pushing the pocket back than pass rushers, which is weird, but in a way I guess it kind of makes sense. They're using their power to push the pocket as opposed to their speed to, shoot gaps. But a couple of things I want you to pay attention to while you're watching this is watch how unsettled passing the ball downfield is for this guy, and watch the type of passes he's forced to throw. He knows that I have two good defensive ends, and he's not going to have a whole lot of time, more often than not, to be cute holding the football, pump faking, and trying to get greedy downfield. He pretty much has to rely on a short passing game, and I'm fine with that. As a matter of fact, I make an adjustment here that helps me win the game. He's kind of completing too many passes underneath. So I go from controlling Freeney to controlling my safety to hopefully, make him have to hold the ball a tick longer. But the point remains the same. He has to account for these defensive ends every single play, or he's going to pay the price. He either has to keep it back in to block, or he has to get rid of the ball quick, or he's going to pay the price. And that's how the Colts play football. I look at Freeney, force him out of the pocket, and how he freed up Madden and how he forced him to throw that ball hot over the middle. That's what a great pass rush will do for you, and that's what a good pass rush does for you in all-pro football. Especially when you have, two or more, you know, very good defensive linemen going up against a generic offensive line. If he had a star tackle, he'd be able to, you know, counter it a little bit easier, but he doesn't. He has to deal with what he has. And if he doesn't take the, you know, smart measures to protect himself, he's going to find himself on his back a lot. Like in this game, my defensive line produced something like 5 sacks. I don't remember. I have the stats that you'll be able to see at the end. But they do their job. And a game I just recently played, my defensive line had 7 sacks. And through 7 games that I've played so far, Mathis leads the league with 8.5 sacks. I have one of my generic defensive tackles has 5 sacks. But weirdly enough, you know, Freely only has Mathis again. Mathis just turning the corner and, you know, laying Matt Ryan out. But Freeney only has a half a sack, and you may be saying, you know, what a waste, he's a bust, but not really if you pay attention, because what he does is command a double team, which creates opportunities for my other pass rushers. Or he forces a quick throw, or he forces a step up into the pocket or away from him in order to let somebody else make a play. So even though he's not getting the numbers right now, he still has to be accounted for, because if you don't, he's going to have, you know, a game where he wrecks the game. And, you know, you don't always get 5 sack games and 7 sack games out of your defense. I've had plenty of games where I only get, you know, 1 sack, a half a sack, or no sacks, but I get pressures. And those pressures produce quick throws and they produce turnovers. So it all adds up. And I know if I keep on playing a sound game and calling a good game, I know Freeney will eventually get his. You know, like in this game, Mathis exploded for 3.5 sacks. And in the last game I played, he had 3 sacks again. So in 2 games, he had 6.5 sacks. And he has 8.5 for the season. So it's only a matter of time before Freeney has one of those games where he just goes off. At the end, it'll average out.
Anderson goes in motion.
Like I have one play, I think it's this play, where Freeney just comes crashing in on the bull rush or the speed rush. No, not this play, but look at the... On that play, he ran an inside stunt, and my outside linebacker, I hot-routed him to blitz, and he came free and forced a quick throw. And if you look, I'm not really blitzing all that much. I'm rushing with 4 most of the time. I occasionally rush with 5, and pressure's getting there. That's what a good defensive line will do. That's how the Colts are built. That's how the Minnesota Vikings are built. That's how the Chicago Bears are built. That's how the Giants are built. You don't have to be reliant on the blitz to have a good defense.
Ryan puts his arm into this one, and the ball's caught at the 29.
Not every 4-3 defense is the Philadelphia Eagles. There's different ways to skin a cat. And if you look at how this guy is playing now, you know, on that throw there, did you see how early he bailed out of the pocket? He knows he's not going to have a lot of time there, so if his first read isn't there, he's starting to get skittish.
Gonzalez goes in motion.
Mathis again. See what happened? All the underneath routes were covered. He had to go looking downfield, and he has no time. Either Freeney's going to get him, or one of the 2 defensive tackles are going to push the pocket, or Mathis is going to beat his man. Play fake? Nope. Mathis almost got him again. The fact that this game acknowledges good pass rushers can make you play a more balanced, fundamentally sound style of defense where you don't have to take so much risk. If there's one criticism that I have about Madden defensively, you can play good defense in Madden, but Madden, you have to take a little bit more risk in order to generate turnovers and to create pass pressure. And that's whether you have ends like Freeney and Mathis or you don't. You just can't sit in a base pass rush and get the kind of results that you would expect to get with dominant pass rushers. You can to a degree, but it's not quite as explosive and as impactful.
Jenkins catches this one, and he's in for the two-point conversion in their own territory, and the clock at 32.
I mean, this is so much fun that I'm thinking of, even though I'm a Jets fan, using the Giants, so I have two goal defensive ends, OC and Justin Tuck, and playing the same style. Because you don't have to blitz. Why blitz when you have two studs that have to be accounted for and can provide such a good pass rush and,
second down, the clock is stopped,
make life miserable? Like right now, late in the game, 21-14, there's 30 seconds left. He has to throw the football. These are the situations that the Colts live for. They live for these situations where you have to throw the ball late in games, and Freeney and Mathis, they don't have to worry about stuffing the run. They can just go right up and tee off on the passer. Look at the speed rush by Freeney. He got the ball off, but he had to get that ball off quick because of the speed rush by Freeney around the edge. And if I had a little bit better coverage in there, I maybe get a deflection or an INT.
Ryan lets it go here, and it falls incomplete.
So that's how a good dominant pass rusher, and in this case two, good pass rushers, should affect the game, especially when they have
down and four wideouts.
A matchup advantage along the offensive line. You should have to be accountable for them, and you should feel their presence. And if you don't game plan around them, you should pay the consequences. And that's an asset that I wish was a little bit more present in Madden than it currently is. Madden is kind of boom or bust. They either play lights out or they play patty cake. When they play lights out, the game looks great and plays great. When they play patty cake, that's when you have such a cheese-friendly environment. So I'll be doing a similar video like this for Madden, and I'll be discussing that in greater detail, and you guys can compare and contrast. Peace.